And we should now be live. Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to make sure everything is working according to plan on OBS. It looks to be. Excellent. How are we doing? Hello, Kairu. Hello, Berenson. How's my day been? Not great. I'm not currently very well at the moment. So, yeah, feeling a bit rough. But we'll get there. Hello, Dinosaur King. And hello, King Giga. Yes, so today the plan is to build the Jurassic Park style of the weather control, the weather defense station. It's not going to be an identical one-to-one, simply because actually we don't have all of the pieces to do it one-for-one. But also I would like to make some modifications, some more detail to it, just to bring it up to a higher standards. So that's what we're doing here. Yeah, chat, like I say, I'm not particularly very well at the moment, so yeah, we're carrying on. Do you have anything else planned if you do finish this build before the stream ends? I can tell you now that this build will probably not be finished by the time the stream ends. Okay, so first things first. I am giving this building. I'm just having a look at the picture I've got up here. Maybe actually it's best not to go with floor panels. No, we'll stick to the floor panels. So we need to use concrete, since all of the Jurassic Park buildings are basically concrete, and I am going to give them a proper doorway. Following on from that, we then have probably no, it's I would say one of them, and then we have a double layer. Maybe it's actually another single layer. Yeah. So is it that one? Then we're going to give it a flat panel at the side. So let's give it a double panel. Hello, Rob. Do you have any finished work blueprints on the workshop? I have quite a few on the workshop currently, and quite a few to post on the workshop. Hello, Luna. You think that they should add Nano Tyrannus? I don't know about that personally. So this one we'll make full panel as well. Same with this one over here. This one needs to be the same as that side. And then here we basically need to give So that's the basic layout right there. like I say, not entirely exactly the same, because the original, this was a circle. But the circle was too small for what I want to do with it, so I want this to be a little more detailed. I personally think we do have too many Tyrannosaurs already. I think we need to have more varied carnivore varieties. What's interesting is this building actually has a layer of glass around the top as well. Now, in the original design, this layer of glass is windows, but I'm actually going to change it to actually be glass, just to make it look a little nicer. It's only a thin layer, so what I'm going to do is just... There's one there. There's... Put one there. That side... Oh, the back side doesn't need any, actually. We'll do the same single panel there, and then concrete one. Ah. Don't have a single block. In that case, then, we'll do those ones as actual windows. Right, and then on top of that, you then technically have another layer that provides the roof. So it's quite a chunky building, this one. Side building. The side building in the original is actually the same height, but again, just for a little bit of interest, I'm going to actually make the side building lower. Just because I think if it was all the same height, it would just be a bit boring, so... Now, the roof is going to be the interesting bit. We're going to have to use floor panels, and we're going to have to use probably the corrugated. No, not that corrugated. Panel 2. Panel 2 might work. Well, there was another type of... It's not that type of corrugated. I'm sure there was another type of corrugated, that there wasn't just one. Is it in roofs? Ah, it is in roofs. Yeah, we want that, because that's the one that's closest to what's on the original design. Hello, One Chef Frog. Have you gotten used to the game? I would say I have gotten used to the game. I think the safest way of doing this is going to work from the outside in. So, two. And oops. And then we need to give down here a roof as well. There we go. There's our basic structure. These two will be windows here and here, so we'll put in some proper windows in there, and then in the back we'll obviously have everything else. So next thing to do is to do all the trim, which is the really important step that takes the longest period of time. So, concrete trim around the base. I'm gonna make it dark concrete, just because I'd like something that's a little different in coloration. And we're gonna sink it down slightly, move it slightly, bring it in. Something like that. And then we're going to duplicate that and do this. We're not going to duplicate that and make sure the toggle is on, the angle snap. Do you know that the dwarf elephant in prehistoric planet Ice Age isn't the species of dwarf elephant, or is it a dwarf stegodon? I did not. I mean, I haven't really been keeping up with anything to do with prehistoric planet Ice Age. I'm just not that interested, if I'm to be brutally honest. Ice Age animals don't really interest me that much, and I would be watching it if David Attenborough was doing the voiceover, but since it is not, again, I'm just not that interested. Unfortunately, I'm picky with my documentaries. let's just put it like that. Right. I'm sure it will be a very good documentary, but I just don't have any interest in it. I've never really been into prehistoric mammals. I'm more of a dinosaur guy. That is annoyingly too long. But I think this trim is annoyingly too short. We'll have a couple of columns around the front door, so it's okay if it's a little short. The columns will probably take up some space. Fletcher the giant ape is appearing in it. And that's not going to make me want to watch it anymore, to be honest. Oh, okay, next, we need a corner. I kind of understand why David Attenborough is... Yeah, I know he's 99 years old. But it's not because of his age that he's not doing it. I mean, he's still making nature documentaries. In fact, I believe he has a new one coming out soon. We should all be so lucky to have such a long but also incredibly amazing life that Sir David Attenborough has had. I have not seen the new short, no. I have been shared the link, but I have had quite a lot of other things going on, so I haven't been able to watch everything I keep being sent. This one would actually be needing to be... Actually, I don't mind that being that low. I think that looks perfectly fine. Yes, true, other narrators do deserve a spotlight. I think the thing for me when it comes to other narrators is David Attenborough is not just a presenter. He's an expert in his field. He's been a naturalist for longer than some people have been alive. And that means when he talks with authority. I'm sure Mr. Hiddleston will do a perfectly reasonable job of narrating it. But he doesn't talk with any authority. He's not a naturalist. He's not a paleontologist. He's a film actor who's just lending his voice talent, which is, again, also fine. But I would rather my educational documentary program be voiced by someone who actually had some idea of what he was talking about. That's just my opinion. I think documentaries should be predominantly narrated by experts in their field. Or people who have at least bothered to go and do the research, which, again, I don't think Mr. Hiddleston would have gone and done. Like I say, my biggest issue with the Ice Age is I'm just not that bothered in Ice Age animals. I don't find Ice Age creatures as interesting as creatures from other time periods. That's just the way I've always been. Now, interestingly, this building has metal panels that come off the edge of the roofs. I don't know how we could duplicate that. Because I don't think... Well, maybe actually... Oh... Ah, I need to do some correction. The roof is more close to the copper. It's strange, the copper roofing pieces I thought would be too biocine, but actually they are the correct ones for the Jurassic Park stuff. These are almost exactly the same as the ones that are on top of the visitor center. We can use these, and then we can use the same trim pieces to create the overhang. Oops. There we go. And then we should be able to use the same pieces for the overhang. So... now the overhangs... don't quite line up correctly, do they? Oh, well these... sorry. This is not lined up correctly. One of those things about the modular building system, sometimes it doesn't sit where you want it to. What's going on here? Why is this not... it should be sitting up on top. These ones are sitting up on top, you see? These ones are fine. But this one... that one is not. How bizarre. Am I going to have to do each bit? I am going to have to do each bit manually. This is one of the elements of the modular building system which bugs me, is that... sometimes it doesn't work the way you expect it to. Still, I quite like the idea of having a slightly raised roofing bit, because the top of the roof in the one from JWE1, you have like this circular pattern thing going on in the middle. Maybe we could replicate that. It's smooth, though. It's almost like it's got just like a concrete top or a... thought we had some copper pieces in here somewhere. I see, so we have copper We don't have copper floors. Okay. So how would we recreate the circle there? We'd probably have to use something like that. Or just... I wish if the stone came inside... I don't understand why some of these don't come in, like, all of the particular shapes. Like, stone, I don't understand why we don't have circular stone sections. It's very baffling to me. I guess we'll just have to use concrete then. Asphalt. But then it wouldn't match the colour. No. Okay, we'll compromise. And we do have circles. Oh yeah, we do have circles, but they're not. It's not going to be the same smoothness. Would that circle be enough? I think we need the larger size. I think we need that size. That looks like it's correct to me. Yeah. And then we got the circle pattern on top, and we'll have to probably put in some extra bits and bobs. But right now, hopefully this. Oh, that looks very close to the actual. We've actually got a few different styles of trim. But I think the angular pieces more closely match the... It's weird, because if I make this picture bigger, so you can see around the edge, it's got that overhang, and then it creates a lip in the middle. But we can't quite replicate that overhang. I'm doing okay, Luna. I'm a little under the weather. But I'm mostly fine. How are you? That would give us the lip inside, but then it's not really in the right place. I think the only... Why is that doing that? It really doesn't like being on top of the... Oh, it's because every one of them was too low. Haha! That would explain it, wouldn't it? I think what we'll just do is, in keeping with the Jurassic Park theme, we'll just trim the top in concrete. Which is, if I show you, let's just put a Jurassic Park structure in. So they trim the top of the buildings in just concrete. So I think what we'll do is something similar. Like they trim under here. It's just a concrete trim piece. So we'll just do the same over there. We'll use I wish this came in rounded sections. I really like this style. But we'll use this style. And obviously we need to twist it upside down. We'll give it a good-ish height just to create that lip. And so that's about halfway there on that side, and that's about halfway there on that side. There we go. Same thing, just make sure it's about halfway on that side. Might have to do a little bit of adjustment, but I reckon that should be fine. Okay, probably going to want to use... I'm going to have to use 2 of these, but that's fine. Still building buildings. Well, Fridays are modular building days, Evo. That is what I have decided, so... I have, like, 2 I need to finish. But this one I'm hoping to get done in the time. It'll also be a good test to see if I can actually get this one finished in 3 hours. I don't think it will be too difficult to do it. Right. And then we need to kind of do the same down here, so... we need to also give this guy some trim. Well, actually, it doesn't have any there. That version doesn't have any trim around the top, but we'll give it trim just to match the style. Like I say, it's not going to be an identical one-to-one match. This is going to be more of a reimagining. We will make this a little bit less of a... quite like that effect. But then we are going to have a column in the corner, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. We kind of need to make sure there is a trim layer there. So grab, actually we can just grab this one. Duplicate. Drag it down. Ah. I don't think this one or that one. No. Okay, we'll leave that untrimmed. We'll do something. Right. Next, outer foundations, now that we know where all the trim and everything is going. This is going to be what flattens the space outside wherever you put it down. Ooh, that's a bit big. She said, before Eva gets there. What am I doing? That's stupid. Who's the bigger ones? Less piece count, right? And we can do the same thing there. Okay. Not looking too bad. Right. Now we need to put in the windows, because in the building they use actual windows in these gaps. I mean, they technically also use them up here, but I'm going to replace them with glass just because I think the glass looks cooler. So, windows. And we want to use... We'll just go with the metal ones. Oh, so there's some sandstone ones. Those are nice. They won't match with the rest of the buildings. Now we have to make sure we're using the right type. I think that one. Yes. Why are we not on... Okay. No, maybe we do want it on low first. No, because then the rotation is out. What's happened there? Align to surface is on. That's what happened. Hate aligned surface. It screws up so many of the pieces. That looks good. Yeah. Can we match the color of the... Probably not. We'll just leave it as it is. Right, duplicate that. Rotate that. Then shift it this way. Perfect. Nice. Okay. Ow. Next up, let's put the columns in, because the columns are quite a defining feature of the building. Now, these are close to the type, but they are way too short. And not wide enough. How big can we make them? We can make them pretty big. Again, that's what she said. So, we might have to put a topper on that. Okay, what if we sank that down to match that level? Before we duplicate it, we'll actually make the rest of the column. So I'm thinking we need a small-ish chunk on top. What's happened there? Did I accidentally not duplicate one bit? And, oh, that was in a terrible position. There we go. Do I like how that looks? I don't think I do. I think I want this one to be... maybe lower? No, actually, I don't think that's too bad. Can we give it something on the base? But those columns are actually kind of more petite than that, aren't they? I think those look too chunky, if I'm honest. I think maybe the thinner ones after all were better. Yeah, these are better. give it that base piece. There. That's better. Now we just have to make sure this is in the right place. This is about there. And then we basically need to reproduce that every so often around the building. So what do you think about the new look for Edmontosaurus? I didn't realize it had a new look. Have I just been missing a bunch of paleontology news? I think have this column actually straight. Just have this element lower it down. You're missing a lot. Apparently so. I don't have as much time for... Oh, I do. That's a lie. I do have plenty of time to read, but... I struggle these days to actually focus on reading, sometimes. One, two... Okay, so yeah, that's the side of the building which has these columns. So I have to say, the columns down the side look like they come out more. So maybe I should have them stick out a bit more. Yeah, I'm well aware of the crested version. Yeah, that's better. We'll have one all the way back here. Not that it matters, because you can't see it, but it does stick to the style. And then we need... basically... copy these over here. In a bit. Yep, about there. to do something similar at the back of the building. So that and one there. Nice. That's all the difficult stuff done. Now it's just detailing and color changing and setting it up to look, you know, the way that it should. So something I want to do for this building is use this lovely mobile radar dish as part of the scenery for the background. So I think this has weather control station written all over it, frankly. Now, I do want it to be sort of centralized because we're going to have fencing and other stuff around it. So we don't want it to hit the fencing. I think we also want to make sure people can get out of the door. So I think there makes good sense. It doesn't go all the way around, does it? I know, it just drops and spins. As long as it never comes any close to where the fence will be, because there'll be a fence line running along the outside of this gravel. It is, but it doesn't work unless you have the expedition building, King Giga. So actually, you can just use it as a decoration. The other thing we should probably think about is the tower. Which should go on the back of here. Now, we do have some pre-built chunks. Props. Comms. It looks looks kind of like that, but it needs to be a lot bigger than that. Let's see if we. So, Okay, so we might just have to use that, or it's just a standard box section tower, isn't it? Yeah. Make this bigger? We can. We'll make the tower ourselves. How high do you think? I think one more. One more. Your dream was that your boyfriend ghosted you, and then when we went to my hometown, he was... Wow, that's an interesting dream. Now we need a like gantry up on the top floor. So I reckon. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let us build a gantry. We'll build it. That one, 2, and then. I hope that's big enough. Yeah, just about. Kind of, that's kind of the size I wanted it to be. Not a job for those who have a fear of heights. Or dinosaurs. Right. Ah. It has a ladder. If it's going to have a ladder, it's going to have to be like that. And I think actually we should have it like here. That way the ladder can go all the way down to here. Right. Ladder. That's a little frustrating. We only have a really rusty ladder or a bright yellow ladder. We'll have to do some color switching. That's fine. Okay. And we'll keep the protected style because I think that works quite nicely. Ah, knew that would be a problem. Okay. Maybe not. Then. What we'll do is we'll have to supply... We'll have to supply a way of folks getting to the ladder. But we'll put it back where it was. Delete that one. Pink ladder. I don't think so. Wow, an hour has gone past already. Oh, I got it upside down. That is acceptable. It is not acceptable. And I still don't understand why we don't have a piece to, like, end the gantry ladders properly. It's very bizarre that we have to use this piece and basically double it up in order to end the ladder. That was nowhere near in the right position. Ah, that'll do. By me. This is a bloody tall tower. Okay. No, I will not ever be making a Peter Griffin statue. Now, I actually think that's too tall. The one in the... I actually think that is definitely too tall. I think once I put everything on top of it that needs to be on top of it, that's actually going to be really quite ungainly. So just there you go. Let's bring it down just a tad. I mean, if I zoom out this image, it's not that tall up above the line of the building. It's like 4 box sections, so I think that's fine. Once everything is on top of this, I think it'll look a lot taller than it looks now. Right, so fencing around the edge. We've got a few different choices. Suppose we could go with standard metal or this stuff. This stuff is a bit more Jurassic Parky, I feel. Where do I want to gate? I think probably roughly in the middle somewhere. So let's go with this stuff. Or there is, hang on, there is this stuff, which I have been using for the Din buildings, but I've noticed they also use it for the Jurassic Park ones. They just change the color of the concrete to grey. So what do people think? Do you think this style with the big, like, concrete base, or this style? So I think either works quite nicely. Second one. Second one it is, then. We'll have to figure out how to do this bit over here. Let's see what it looks with the concrete one. I'm gonna drop the concrete one down a bit so we got like a base around. See, that one we can go right up to the edge. I think this one looks better. And it saves us putting extra pieces down. Piece we'll have to back slightly. Yeah, that looks... I think that looks way better. We'll make that the gateway. Oops. Oh. That old issue of mine that I keep forgetting that I actually have to click it to save its position. Hits me every time. Maybe this should be... Oh. Then it's... That'll do. That'll do. Doesn't have to be perfect. Right. Let's stick a door in here. That door wouldn't fit even if... I just... Oh, there is quite a drop. What did I do for my solar power? I didn't bother. I just accepted. Okay. Also, I've noticed a really annoying bug that in Sandbox, some of my buildings don't show up. Apparently, it's a known problem that it isn't syncing up certain workshop items properly. So I hope they fix that problem quite soonish. Because it's a little bit annoying to like build stuff and for it not to be accessible. Kind of spoils the point of having a workshop if that happens, you know. Sandbox is bugged anyway. In what way? I wasn't aware that there was a problem. I turn combat off, dinosaurs still fight. I turn hunger on. As soon as they get to red hunger, they go back to my... Oh dear. Right. We need some extra detailing here. It does seem in keeping with Frontis' style that Sandbox would be bugged again. It's just what they do, isn't it? A little bit of extra support for this tower. I think it really needs it. It'd be a little bit bizarre if it didn't have anything like this. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? A bit chunkier. Okay. I opened a gate to a lake so the species didn't dehydrate. It never went in there and died. There's a bug on PlayStation where if you open up the scenery tab, the game just straight up crashes. Oh. I heard that the console side of things are having trouble. But I didn't realize it was quite that bad. Right, what's next on the... I suppose we ought to put the actual stuff on this tower. So, in the Jurassic Park version at least, they have a number of these guys. Actually, do we actually have a radar? We do have a radar drop. How small can I make that? I can make it a cute little baby Doppler radar. So I have a cute little Doppler radar up there. And then we'll put up these guys. So let's make sure they're actually connected to the bloody tower. Okay. So, according to the picture, there's one about halfway up. I think they could do with being a little smaller. There we go. So there's one about just above the halfway point. Then we have another one on this side. A little bit higher up and add a bit of an angle. I think that one I'm going to make down. And then, whoa, what am I doing over there? And then, I hate it when it does that. Then we have another one that's up on this edge again. Kind of at a similar height to the one on the other side. And this one is also pointing kind of this way. And there's one on back surface. By Jingo, there's a lot of radar dishes on this thing. I count 5 in total. Then there's one on this side. Sticking more or less out there. This one will move it down slightly. This one will move up slightly. Then this one will move down a little bit more. This one will move down a little bit. This one will move up a little. Yeah, that's pretty close to what they've got on there. You're making a Gallimimus Valley. Are they going to flock that way? Right, now we need some protective banisters to make sure that our wonderful staff do not fall to their horrible, horrible deaths. Can you imagine the amount of paperwork you have to fill in? I need a shorter piece than that. That may be too short of a piece. This chunk needs to be moved up slightly. Lovely. You know, we might actually get this one made in before the stream ends. Which, I'm not going to do that because that would drive people who have OCD absolutely nuts. I do try to do my best to avoid doing things that would make OCD people angry, like having improperly laid out posts. There we go. We'll have to change the colouring on all the gantries once we put them all in. Prehistoric Kingdom Anki Baby is the cutest potato. The Anki design is really nice for Prehistoric Kingdom. I really do like it. Chunk King can die. It can sod off and die. Although, speaking seriously for a second, I don't understand why chunking and Gigant Spino were necessary. Like, speaking in a non-jokey manner, yes, I was annoyed that my beloved Huangosaurus got cut, but I would have also expected the other one to get cut as well. The fact that there's 2 of them in the game, as opposed to 3, and not just one of them being in the game. I don't understand the logic in that. So I would hope that people would not be stupid enough to just walk off the edge of this platform, but you never can be sure. So, how does that look? Awful, that's how that looks. Don't like that either. That will do. It's not terrible. At least it protects the end of that. It's fine. That's fine. And then we need railings around this top of here. It's always fun when you have to deal with circles. That is where that should be. This needs to be shifted. And be shifted that way a bit too. Why is that? It was shorter than it should be. But yep, that is in the right place.
Right now, right?
It's gonna have to go in a little bit more. I refuse to call it a Cretaceous cruise. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue, does it? Cretaceous cruise. It's a bit of a pile up in the old larynx, is that? Jurassic. The River Cruise sounds better, or Jurassic River Cruise sounds better. This needs to be shifted a little bit more. Smidgen more. Perfect. Right. This is looking a bit. This, I think, is looking a little bit more with it now. Now we've got everything that it should have. So, there's a little communications tower on this thing, which is about here. I'm actually going... neaten it up. Shrink it down. About there. And now we can basically do with this whatever we want. So we need some extra windows in this, I think. And
Yeah.
I think we need to put some general scenery in, but that looks pretty good. So, let's start with air conditioning. I think big air conditioning unit on the top of this building. Thusly. And we'll probably have like a smaller one. We need some right, we need to decide on where to actually have some extra doors. I think definitely some there. Let's delete that and that. Let's grab a couple of shorter trim blocks. No. Move. Ugh. The controls can be a little sticky at times. Okay, one set of doors exiting there. And I think we want another set of doors going into here. Ah! And, oh, we want another ladder up here, don't we? Haha! I need to decide where to put this additional ladder. It will go here. Or actually, maybe we could do, like, stairs? Where's that prop stairwell? There's like somewhere in here there is this. So if we cut off the upper floor. That should be, I think, ugh! What did it do that for? Oh. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so we need to twist it this way. Slide it. Oh, you. Oh, you bugger. Oh, I'm not satisfied. I'm a little bit peeved at that, if I'm honest. Because, I'd say that's not very safe, is it? I think that's not too bad. Okay. I think we need some stuff up here. So I think some electric boxes. Cable. Just for a little added interest, really. Um, nah, that's too much. Maybe we could put... What have we got up here? Maybe... say they keep equipment at the top of the tower for repairing the radar. That makes sense to me. Just realized we kind of need to give us... there be a way to get up to there from down here. So I think... we need another little ladder or stairwell. What have we got? That maybe... no, a set of stairs like that would work fine. Let's put them there. It's the wrong way. What is the wrong way? Oh, the stairs. I did not notice. Oh, damn. I might have to go back and have a look at the other buildings that I've used this for now, and should be that way. Yeah. Ah, that would have been a hilarious mistake. Well spotted, Chad. Well spotted. I knew it was that, of course. I'm just trying to, you know, keep you all on your toes. Right. I would say we're not far off this being done. That's a little bit annoying. It's fine. It's fine. Right. How did they get sloped gantry? Is there a sloped gantry? Oh yes, there is. Duplicate. It's a shame they haven't got a corner piece. You know, it'd be nice to have an actual corner. Then we could deal with that, but it's fine. It gets the point across. I would like if Frontier had a variant for baryonics based on the website design. I really think they ought to. I mean, the website design is so much better. You know, it's not identical to the one from the original game. But I wouldn't want it to be identical, because the one from the original game I think is just too small. I think this looks a bit more substantial for a park weather system. Control thingamajig. Now we need to add in some additional doors. So, put an additional fire exit door there. That up slightly. Anyway, so let's put fire escape there. We've got one door there, one door there. I think we could probably deal with having one on this side of the thing. Probably, let's say here. We'll put a fire exit door. We'll make this one only a sing. No, we'll make it a double. We'll make it a double. Always good to be thinking about fire safety. Bye-bye, Chad. Thank you for tuning in. I think we do need... just something to match that JP style. I reckon we should do that at the front doors as well. Ah, they're a bit too long. Okay. Oh damn, we haven't actually haven't put the front doors in. I think I made an error with building this. Yeah. I did. said duplicate. There's our doors. And then I do want to do a repeat of that. This wall above the door. I'm thinking. They're a little bigger. That looks pretty decent, I think. Bigger. I think we need something on these sides here. Actually, no, we don't. No, we don't. I think they're fine as they are. What about these side? Okay. Let's put in some props down at the sides. These JPOG ones, I think. Paint. JP ones, even. Oh, we need some more windows, don't we? Jesus. I think we need a window up here. Big. I think we just go with one of those, so it looks like that carries on. I will give this one see-through. Okay, we need to see this arrangement. Thank you, One Truff Frog. I think the back of the building here will have nice air conditioning units, maybe. Right, now out here... we probably need... Now we need a bunch of stuff outside of here. Cables. we got like any like, mini sticks? No. Eh. Right, let's just put some other random things out here, just to make it look a bit more worked in, as it were. Definitely have a fire hose out here. And you put a fire extinguisher out here too. That's a little large.
Just
Nowhere really to put a fire extinguisher up here. Okay, mount one on the fence. Works. Let's have one here as well, just in case. Other things have we got that we can put on the roof? Because the roof looks a bit plain at the moment. I think I want something on this. I want something on this wall. This wall or this wall. We've got some concrete cinder blocks. Oh, I should have put some of those in. Hello, something. And we're finishing off this building. And Matthias, hello. Sorry. It will be in the workshop once it's done, yes. Some air conditioning. Actually, wasn't there... That'll do nicely. Right. That's more or less set dressing done. Actually, there's one more thing I can think of that we haven't got yet. Before we move on to the lighting, gotta make sure there's CCTV about. Yeah, now I think that's more or less, apart from decal work. So, do they do over? We have a Jurassic Park themed building somewhere. What do they do for decals? Okay. These bollards. Okay, I need to change the color of this. That will do. All of the buildings use wooden posts. Oops.
For him.
What color is the word? Copy. Spiffing. Right. It's the maintenance rating. Sorry, yes. Obviously I'm building this in a sandbox map, so. Decals. Okay. That is very annoying. It's one too short. Why would they have done that? No, thank you. No, I've got water. Thank you. I'm still not sure whether I think the maintenance system was a good addition to the game or not. I think I would say it's a good addition, but it's just not been handled correctly. Like a lot of things Frontier does, it's a good idea, but they really muck it up in the execution of the idea. That looks way better with that around the edge. really like that. How? Why did that end up that high in the air? What's a tip for not getting bored while building a park? That is very dependent on how you're building it. If you're playing Evolution 1 or 2, I would say mod it or have a specific idea of something you want to build. In Evolution 3, I think it's a bit harder because of the modular building system. I think it's a lot easier to get bored. I would say the best way to avoid being bored is to always have an idea of what you're trying to do with the park you're building. Like, don't just pick a random map and then decide to build a park on it. Pick a map, look at the map, think about what sort of environmental features that are still on the map that you want to keep, which ones you want to change. And then think about adding extra unique touches with the dinosaurs. So, like, you know, am I going to build just a lagoon-only park? Is it going to be an aviary-only build? Am I just going to have carnivores? Am I just going to have herbivores? Give yourself a plan, basically. And don't think something people do is they think that the parks have to be rushed. No, gotta finish it. Gotta finish it. Don't have that mentality. It'll be finished when it's finished. just go slow, you know? Take your time with it. Also, don't fill it full of just enclosures. Do think about guest areas and... A park should be about more than just the dinosaurs. And I think if you just focus on building enclosures for dinosaurs, I think that's a good way of getting very quickly bored. I think we need some minor scuffs and scrapes. Make this building look a little warm. I don't know, maybe cracks is a bit much, but I do think it adds some texture to it. Because it's a bit grey at the moment. I mean, I know the original building is predominantly grey, but I feel like it's maybe too grey. Maybe we could, at least on the front, change the color of the... I don't dislike that. A little JPOG-esque sandy stone strip to it. Well, you can't really do it on the curved bits because the decals don't really work with the curved sections very nicely. They only really probably work with the flat sections. I could definitely add occasional crack there and there, just for some texture. There. But, yeah. I don't want to add too many because I don't want it to look run down. I just want it to have some texture. I mean, probably ought to sort out the lighting. Maybe actually, you know what might help the front of the building look less plain? What? Maybe if we add it. Try that again. An Indominus Fountain doesn't really suit Jurassic Park's storm defense building, does it, King Gear? That was in a wrong position. Get some nice foliage in here. Yeah. I really hate how the LODs work in this game. Because now they just look really rubbish. I know they have to do it because the game has to be able to run on consoles too, but for God's sake, can the PC players not have a LOD slider? Like every other game in existence? Yeah, that's better. That's better. I think the front still looks a little plain, but there's nothing really we can do about that. Like, we can't really... Oh well. Who cares if it looks a little plain? Maybe we should just change the color of the concrete. I think it looks fine. It's supposed to be a work building. It doesn't have to look massively decorative, does it? Maybe if we made these... That I prefer. I think that looks a lot better. Just add some color. Make these black as well. Yeah, I think that looks much better. Thank you, Rob. If we also... That is what is missing. Just something to... I didn't like how smooth it looked. That's better. That looks less boring now. Yes, Professor Rogops, that was the point of today's stream, but the stream is ending in 10 minutes anyway. Fridays are always going to be building streams now on the channel, at least for a prolonged period of time. Right, time to set up some lighting, I think. Interesting. What to do? Spotlights? Got some larger ones? Nice. How would you light up? This under here? Maybe just... Oh, now this will have to be... It's actually kind of pretty in a weird way. Right, and then up here.
I love this as well. Oh no.
Oh, we need some lighting down here. No, I hate chunking. My favorite dinosaur in Jurassic World Evolution 3, I cannot tell you yet because I haven't seen them all. I haven't finished unlocking them all in campaign yet. I haven't seen all of their babies yet, so I'm not sure. I think the only thing I think this does need is, I think it's a bit silly that we have completely exposed wiring and stuff at the back of this building. So let's get that would be out of bounds. door kind of tricky to open. Maybe it opens this way. And you just have to sort of be careful not to fall arse over tit if you go that way. It wouldn't be Jurassic Park without some really obvious health and safety risk, would it? If I wanted that. Huh? I would need to move this one ever so slightly. There. Now our electrics are kind of a little bit more protected than what they were. I think this is done. And I mean, let's for interest's sake. I think that would look okay next to a Jurassic Park building, or let's get another one. Yeah, I think it would look fine. Oh, wow. It's a cool building. Yeah, I mean, I think that's satisfactory. I think it looks fine. The fun fact, they call the amphitheater we get the Jurassic World style. That's annoying, isn't it? But yeah, I think that is not a too bad version. Like, if we come, if I just move myself to the side and then compare it to the proper one, I don't think that's too bad. A remake. I think it's not a direct copy. I think it's suitably an improvement. I think I'm happy with the coloring of everything. Obviously, I'll have to then rebuild the Jurassic World version and a DIN version at some point, but I think this is pretty good. So, I am happy to make sure I have all of that. Mega blueprint. And what I'll do straight away is... Oh, wrong one. Delete the module tag, then it'll be good. Oh, I have to do that. Bugger, I'm gonna have to update this quickly. I can't. It's locked. I can't delete the module tag. That's annoying. Oh well. I don't mind. I really don't like the way that the picture system they use for this makes everything look squished. There we go, it is now up on the workshop for people to use should they want to. I'm quite pleased we got that done in 3 hours. I'm pretty impressed, actually. Gives me something to make a YouTube video about as well. But it is 11:05, so I am going to leave the stream there. I'll be back on Sunday with the continuation of the campaign stream that we've been doing. So I'll see you guys there. Please do go and get this if you like the look of it or any of my other designs. I will be making plenty. I've got so many designs. I just wish that I wish that the system would update properly, because I've got like a bunch of power related designs that they just aren't syncing up correctly, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, that is what that is. But yeah, I will see you guys on Sunday. So wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your Friday evenings. Stay safe and warm if you're going out to do anything for Halloween, and good night.